Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Star Wars The Acolyte is apparently an exploration of the rules around how the Force can be used. Huh. It's all about power. I see. Interesting. Shall we take a look? See if this piques your interest? Side note. I think this may just be a vehicle for Russism. We shall see. It'll be interesting to see if that is the case. But yeah, hit subscribe if you're new here. Turn the bell notifications on. Let's dive right into it. Oh, side note. If you like what I do here, and you want to support a little bit further, then please do become a Patreon, which you can do via the link in the description box for as little as $2 a month. So less than a coffee, because coffee is well expensive now. Anyway, and I asked that because YouTube does do pretty rapid demonetization, by the way. But let's take a look, right? This is the show that literally no one cares about. Star Wars: The Apathy is essentially what it is, but you know, it is what it is. We have here Star Wars: The Acolyte actress Amanda Stenberg has decided to reveal that the upcoming show will apparently explore how the Force can be used in Star Wars. Which, I'm not going to lie, that, you know what I mean? That doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. Alright? That doesn't make a lot of sense. So she spoke to Empire to promote the upcoming show. Stenberg detailed how the show was pitched to her. Like, are you ready for just incredible stuff here? It's not. Side note. I understood that it was an exploration of the light and dark parts of ourselves, which is, I guess, why she's playing two of this, like a twin, maybe. Sure, fine, I guess. I mean, it's lame, but fine. And the rules in the galaxy around how the Force can be used, which was insane to experience that. What? What do you mean, the rules in the galaxy around how the Force can be used? What does that even mean? An exploration of the light and dark parts of ourselves and the rules in the galaxy around how the Force can be used. What, honestly, what does that even mean? What does that even mean? What a bunch of absolute nonsense. So later in the interview, she was also asked about how the light side and dark side dynamic works for her character, May. She's playing two characters. They're twins. It's pretty obvious. With Empire's Ben Travis stating, and quote, "I'm getting she's more towards the dark side." Stenberg responded, "I think it's a lot more complicated than that, which is the point of the show. Hopefully we did our job right, and the show makes it an interesting interrogation into what it means to be on the light side or the dark side, told through absolutely incredible, not remotely creatively bankrupt. No. Twins, ladies and gents, bloody twins. But you know, whatever. This is just modern day Disney and Lucasfilm Star Wars for you, isn't it? So she'd also go a little bit further, by the way. And she provided more information regarding how the show will treat the Force, noting it will eschew from Lucas Canon. It's a time in the galaxy where the people use the Force is in canon. It's very expansive. It doesn't necessarily have the more rigid conceptions that it might have later in the Galactic Republic. So that provides us the opportunity to maybe explore the different way this character relates to the Force. What? So, just the down low from that is, we've said it way before everything, so we think we can just do whatever we want. So we're rewriting the script up until the point at which there's canon, and that's the new canon. Okay, cool, out with the old, in with the new. I mean, it's just a really lazy way of doing it, but fine. So she would later reiterate comments Leslie Headland had made about the show, regarding it apparently being a lesbian show, with a Star Wars veneer. Speaking with Empire at Star Wars Celebration back in 2023, Headland said, and quote, "When I saw Frozen as a grown-ass woman, I cried through the entire movie. There was just something about the relationship between the sisters. It's like de-villainization of the classic kind of fairy tale bad guy, you know, the concept of true love being between two sisters and not a heterosexual relationship. It just destroyed me completely. And I thought, gosh, I'd love to make something like this. For lack of a better word, better term, Disney, meaning something that, like my parents, would have allowed me to see when I was younger as a queer person, but I would have been able to understand as a queer person, and I think I would have had a completely different life, and so I really was inspired by it and was like, God, I would love to make a story like this. What does that even mean? And so when I was developing this original idea to pitch to Lucas President Kathleen Kennedy, I thought, well, you know, it can't just be that. When you're pitching Star Wars, you have to pull from what George Lucas was also interested in. It can't just be like, well, I'm referencing, especially if you're going to set something during the High Republic end of the High Republic into prequels, you don't have the Skywalker saga. You can't reference a character that was created by George. You have to create your own characters. Right. And then she'd also say it's sort of a joke, but it was my elevator pitch to Kathy Kennedy. I want to take that revisionist version of female villains that you see in a fairy tale media and tell it through that lens. When I was a young queer girl, I was just hanging out with Ursula, the Sea Witch. As a queer girl growing up, if you don't identify with the heroes and the villains show up and they're all queer coded, you're like, yes, that's me. Is that why you worked for Harvey Weinstein then? And didn't say anything. Alright. As a queer filmmaker, you're going to see some camp, inevitably. But I would say that tonally our references are darker. Anyway, Stenberg reiterated these, by the way. So I got Leslie's conceptual tagline that she's been sharing, which is that it was a mixture of Frozen and Kill Bill. Ladies and gents, Star Wars, Frozen and Kill Bill. Two things which definitely should never come to mind when you think about Star Wars. How bizarre. Which immediately sucker punched me because Kill Bill is one of my favourite movies. Going into filming, Leslie held a screening for the entire cast and crew of Kill Bill, and then I was told that it would be at the height of the High Republic era, which was so interesting to me because I feel like the further back you go in Star Wars lore, the more fascinating it gets, and the more concepts people within Lucasfilm have started to dig into and explore. It creates a really rich, fascinating web. I mean, it sounds lame, but alright, you know, I mean, easy brains are easily pleased, I guess. Oh god, it sounds so lame. I am looking forward to watching this in like 2 weeks, isn't it? Releases in 2 weeks, I think. I'm looking forward to watching it just because I feel like this will be the show that, you know, the straw that breaks the camel's back, as it were. The show will absolutely decimate Star Wars. It will show Disney and Lucasfilm that they have completely screwed up. That in combination with, of course, the Rey movie, that film will undoubtedly destroy Lucasfilm's confidence in Star Wars. Hopefully, we'll see. Just put it to bed for a while, guys. Just put it to bed. It doesn't need. You don't need to do anything with Star Wars for a long time now. Just chill with it. So there you go. Thoughts down below. Take care. Bye bye now.